Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to the morning briefing here on Friedman Adventures, the day after Christmas. It is so great to be with you all, and I deeply appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me. Hey, my cup of coffee, my cup, you know the one I always use? There's a mystery brewing. It's gone. Now, I'm starting to think I've been so busy. Did I leave my cup down here at the beach the other day and it was sacrificed to King Neptune? I'm not really sure. I've looked everywhere and I can't find it, so I may have to replace it. But for now, it is time for the morning briefing. I still have a delicious cup of coffee to salute you all. Oh, so good. All right, somebody in particular I want to salute this morning, and that is a guy by the name of Robert Jackson. So Daley Jackson, he used to work at 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, is a really special guy, a really good person with a great family, and he's been a supporter of mine for literally decades. In fact, he mentioned that Robert, his brother, his older brother, and Daley and I were on board the Tracer many years ago when Robert caught a giant white sea bass. It was really spectacular, and while I don't have an exact memory of that, I really enjoyed fishing with those guys, and Daley is a spectacular guy. Well, recently, Robert went through some really tough times, battling COVID and pneumonia, and it was really, really tough. He was really down. In fact, he was hospitalized, and Daley tells me that for Robert, the one thing he looked forward to every single morning was the morning briefing. And while he couldn't toast me with a cup of coffee, he did it with his orange juice from the hospital bed every single morning. Man, I can't tell you, that means so much to me. Daley, thank you for sharing that. Robert now is back home and he's doing really, really well. And he's toasting me this morning with a cup of coffee. So Robert, I am so happy you've recuperated and you're doing so much better. That means a lot to me. And I wish you continued good health in 2023. All right, everybody, good morning. It's great to be with you. You know, we've got some weather on our hands right now. It's going to be a little bit difficult for the next couple of days. Nobody's been out because, of course, it was Christmas, and now the day after Christmas, we're getting a few local boats back out there and maybe somebody out on Tanner Bank. We'll check into that as the day goes by here today. But the last time that I'm aware of anybody on Tanner Bank, and it was a private boater, and they had limits of bluefin tuna, limits of bottom fish. That bite continues on strong. There's plenty of squid out there that's holding that fish there. And of course, even though the water temperatures are down around 58 degrees, that fish does not appear to be going anywhere at all. It really seems to be stuck on Tanner with that big, beautiful smorgasbord. Well, actually, it's just the live squid, the market squid that's available to those fish, but that just seems to be holding them there. So if we can get boats out there, I have no doubt that that bite is going to continue right in to the new year. Remember, January the 1st, the rockfish season will close in the Southern California area. So that means that you'll be fishing all for bluefin tuna when you go out to Tanner Bank after the 1st. Now, what is principal in our minds right now is, of course, weather. And we're going to have quite a bit of rain, it seems like, on Tuesday, by quite a bit in Southern California, like maybe an inch or so. I mean, we seem to go into a panic whenever there's a rainstorm. I know that, you know, a half an inch of rain will be falling, or somebody will call me and say, you know, I'm not going to tough it out in the weather today. I'll see you next week. And please, if you go out, be careful. Well, those are good, and I deeply appreciate the thoughts. You know, come on. There's just a little bit of rain. But we are going to have some wind associated with it here in the next few days, and that is going to be the principal problem. Now, along the coast, we're going to maintain really nice weather, so guys that are out fishing local rockfish should do just fine. They shouldn't have any trouble at all getting out there. You might get a little wet Tuesday, but it doesn't seem like we're going to have much wind until late Saturday afternoon, and into Sunday. It's going to get really too windy to fish if the long-range forecast is indeed correct. So we'll have to watch that for you very, very closely and see if that wind is going to manifest itself. Same thing out there on Tanner Bank. Although on Tanner, we're going to get some breezier conditions on Wednesday, and then Thursday looks like it's going to lay down. Friday looks like it'll be okay, but Saturday and Sunday and even into Monday look like it's going to be very windy out there on Tanner Bank. If it is as windy as is forecast, it'll be unfishable out there this coming weekend. So something we need to watch. Long-range forecasts are a bit dubious at times. Sometimes they manifest themselves, sometimes they don't. Most of the time, the guys, the weather forecasters have been pretty spot on. So that is the situation right now. Up and down the coast, and I'm talking half day and 3/4 day. Once again, they should be okay for the most part, and they're going to be catching shallow water rockfish down in Mexico. We go down there to the Ensenada area, and our friends out of Blackfin still going down to the Soledad Bank around Santo Tomas, and they continue to do really, really well on rockfish down in that neck of the woods. And their weather looks like it's going to be just fine until the weekend. It might get a little bit breezy along the coast, but for the most part, it looks pretty darn good down there in that neck of the woods. And this is your last chance to cash in on that shallow water rockfish up and down the Southern California coast. After that, you'll have to go to Mexico either by driving down there, fishing with Blackfin, Arnie Sport Fishing, Costa Baja Sport Fishing, or you can jump on a San Diego-based sport boat and head down there on one of their Colonet trips, which are spectacular. Relentless, Sea Adventure 80, many of those guys are going to be running those types of trips. So again, that will be the alternative, the option available to you if you want to fish for rockfish. And on those Colonet trips, it is not uncommon to get a really good bite on the yellowtail down there in that neck of the woods. Also, back to Tanner Bank, just to talk about what had been going on out there. It was a lot of 18 to 25 pound bluefin tuna that now gave way to a lot more 30 to 60 pound fish. They still get a little bit on the finicky side, but in most cases you can get away with 40 pound fluorocarbon, and we love OpsonUSA.com. Put in FA at checkout and you'll be good to go for getting your Opson fluorocarbon. And when you put in FA, Greg Brown will send you a love note as well as a free gift. So again, 40 pound, but you need to bring some 20, 25 pound also in case that fish gets really finicky. Most of the time when you're fishing with a squid, live squid or fresh dead, they'll bite that heavier string. So hopefully that bite is going to rebound and we should get a look at it in coming days. However, remember, weather is going to really put the kibosh on it. Wednesday gets breezy out there, and then back again on the weekend. It is pretty darn breezy out there in that neck of the woods. Don't forget, January the 6th, we have a kids trip on the Monte Carlo out of 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro. If you want to join us, you are welcome to do it. It's 22nd Street Landing's way of saying thank you to you. You got a group of kids who've never gone fishing before. We'll provide everything for them. And all you got to do is send me a text at 657-227-6459. In the afternoon on January the 6th, we invite you all to come down and dine on a delicious hot dog that we'll be providing to you all, as well as have several little kind of booths set up, knot tying with Eddie Leland. Hopefully Eddie will be up to doing that. And then we'll have all kinds of other stuff, including hopefully you'll be able to get a look at the El Patron, the boat that's headed to Puerto Vallarta. He's going down into that neck of the woods here really soon, but the boat is at 22nd Street Landing. You can also see the Judith and Tom Durer's beautiful boat, which is available for charter right now. You can do a half-day trip with Tom, and he's reduced prices to the point where it's great. And also, if you're into the whole whale watching thing, you can do a really VIP type whale watch on this boat that does 25 knots. So man, you can get out there in a hurry, get on some gray whales, maybe fin whales, maybe humpback whales, pods of dolphin. You can enjoy that with a small party of people when you go with Tom. It's really an extraordinary experience. And also our raffle is continuing. If you'd like information on that, once again, that same number, 657-227-6459. All right, looks like a rainy Tuesday, so we're going to be back on the morning briefing on Wednesday morning. But in the meantime, once again, I want to toast Robert Jackson. Robert, so glad you're doing well. And all the rest of you guys who have been through some medical issues, Paul Burbank, several other people. Some of you have lost loved ones during this time of the year. John, I'm thinking of you out there. All of you, I'll keep you in my thoughts for sure. And looking forward to a great 2023 with each and every one of you. So have a great morning, everybody. I'll see you on Wednesday. Take care, and I hope to see you really, really soon.
Gas coming up. Dad Leland's back. He ain't screwing around anymore.
Freaking nice part, Purge.
Ah, life's good. Woo!
Good job, man.
Oh, Phil, I'm so glad you talked me into this.
Oh. Woo! What a way to start the morning briefing.
Look at that, man.
The big calico bass come out to play around Punta Banda, Baja California, Norte near Ensenada, fishing with Diego Nuno and Costa Baja Sport Fishing.
Look at that, man.
The big calico bass come out to play around Punta Banda, Baja California, Norte near Ensenada, fishing with Diego Nuno and Costa Baja Sport Fishing. These small round stingrays can inflict an immense amount of pain. The best thing you can do is to soak the wound in warm water. Do you have a suggestion? Put a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. A really fun and productive method to take yellowfin croaker in the Southern California coast is by throwing a small lure. It really works well, and it's lots of fun.
Deception jig, man, and that thing hit the bottom, twitched it once, and it was on.
The mystery of the missing coffee cup has been solved. See you, everybody.